Well, hey folks, welcome back to The Good Life Outdoors. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I love cooking on my Weber Kettle Grill. And one of the favorite things I like doing with that is cooking low and slow, smoking meats on there. Now traditionally I've been using the snake method, which is using a fuse of charcoal that burns around the edge of the grill, cooking indirectly, smoking the meat to perfection. It's easy to control and I really enjoy doing that. Now, I've made several videos on that, so you can check those out somewhere up here. From that, I had a manufacturer reach out to me, and that's FlameTechGrills. They make the Smoke and Sizzle. Now this is a little different idea, but kind of the same principle. Indirect cooking with a little bit of moisture that goes into the pan, and well, it does a pretty good job. I'm going to show you a couple of recipes that I've done, cooked on this, so that you can see how it works, and I'll let you know what I think of it. So let's get started. Now the Smoke and Sizzle is a all stainless drip pan that has a divider that holds in the charcoal on the other side for indirect cooking. Now I want y'all to note, the model I'm showing here is a prototype. I was sent this to try out. Since then, they've greatly improved the look and fit and finish of this product. It looks a lot better, but it works in pretty much the same way. The Smoke and Sizzle is designed to hold a fair amount of charcoal opposite of the drip pan, and you can burn that charcoal from one side to the other, keeping it low and slow, controlling that temperature with the vents. So that's pretty much what the Smoke and Sizzle does. Now let's get into the kitchen, get some food ready so we can try this thing out. Now I don't know about y'all, but I love a good smoked chicken. And I'm going to try something a little different today. I'm going to do a Pollo Asado. And it's a pretty simple recipe. I'll post that down in the description below. But I'm going to start off with 2 chickens. I usually try to do 2 at a time because I like eating chicken and I eat a lot of them. So I'm going to take these chickens and I'm going to spatchcock them. In other words, I'm going to cut out the spine so that I can lay them flat on the grill. Now if you've never done this before, it may look a little intimidating, but really all you need is a good pair of strong kitchen shears and some determination. You just find where the spine is, try to cut as little meat off as possible, and then you just kind of work your way up with the scissors and cut that spine completely out. Now once you get the backbone cut out of each of them, you're going to, well, for lack of a better term, break them open so that they can sit flat on the grill. Doing it this way will help them cook nice and evenly. Once you mix up your asado ingredients, you can apply them to the chicken. I'm just going to pour this whole thing nice and liberally over these chickens. I want to make sure everything is nice and covered. I'm going to work them in with my hands. Now this is raw chicken, so you want to wash your hands often, and you definitely don't want to reuse any of the utensils and pans that you're using here later on until you've washed them thoroughly. Once the chicken's covered, I'll pop this in the fridge for at least an hour. Now we can get this cook started for the chicken. I'm starting off with a small amount of charcoal, so I'm using the bottom side of my charcoal starter. I'm going to get this lit and we'll use that to start the rest of the charcoal with the Smoke and Sizzle. Setting the charcoal chimney aside, I can put the Smoke and Sizzle in place so that I can put in the rest of the charcoal and the wood that's going to be part of this cook. I'm going to be organizing everything so that it can burn evenly and with more wood on the starting side than on the ending side, so you get a whole lot of smoke flavor all at once. Once your charcoal in the chimney is all nice and started, you can go and pour it on one side of the charcoal you have set up in your grill. And this will start burning from one end to the other. Now you'll add some hot water to the drip pan side of the Smoke and Sizzle, and this will keep moisture through the cook and keep your food from drying out. With the top grill in place, it's time to add your food. These chickens have been marinating for well over an hour. They're looking really nice. I'm going to space these out so they have a little room for air to move around them. And then I'm going to be putting some of this marinade over the top of them just to get them nice and coated and get all that flavor all over them. I use a ThermoPro dual probe thermometer to monitor the temperatures of the meat and the grill throughout the cook. I'm going to target keeping the grill around 300 degrees consistently through the cook and 165 degrees as the end temperature for the chicken. At these temperatures, 2 chickens usually take 3 to 4 hours to cook up to full temperature. And here they are. They look delicious, and I can assure you they were. So that's one way to use the Smoke and Sizzle. As you can see, the charcoal lasted pretty well through that cook. Let's try something else. I picked up a 3-pound eye of round, and I'm going to try out a reverse sear with the Smoke and Sizzle. I'm keeping the seasoning simple, just salt, pepper, and garlic powder. That way the taste of the meat and the smoke can shine through in this recipe. We'll let this meat sit and come up to room temperature while we get the grill going. This should all look real familiar to you. Now I'm adding a bit more charcoal here just because I want to have plenty available for searing this meat once it's finished smoking. In retrospect, it was probably way too much charcoal, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. Now this cook won't take near as long as I'm only needing to bring this meat up to rare temperature, about 120 degrees, so that it can get up to medium rare by the time I finish searing it. Man, that's looking tasty already. Once the lid is off, those coals get nice and hot and ready to sear. In fact, it got a little hotter than I expected, so the sear is a little darker than I intended, but it doesn't affect the flavor of the meat. It'll turn out just fine. And this beautiful piece of meat is ready to slice. Now that right there is some good eating. Well, there you have it, the Smoke and Sizzle by FlameTechGrills. It's a nice little contraption, fits really well with the Weber Kettle Grill. It's a really well-made piece of equipment, works pretty well. Now, do I enjoy this over the snake method? Hard to say. I've been using the snake method for quite some time and I really enjoy cooking that way, but this is a great alternative and gives some really good flexibility to this grill. So I'll post a link down below in the description for this product. Go check it out, see if it's right for you. I definitely recommend using it if it is something you want to try. So get out there, use your Weber Kettle Grill in whichever way you want to use it, have fun doing it, and thank you for following along. Y'all take care.